1915. For the soldiers on the Western Front, the new year brings stalemate. In the months since World War I began, the invading German army has failed to break through. Now it faces the British and French allies along a front line of trenches across France and Belgium. For nearly 4 years, these men will engage in the bitterest fight the world has ever known. These years will bring an appalling new weapon, poison gas, a new illness, shell shock, an extraordinary force, the mind. And these years will produce a new and deadly expression, going over the top.
It is a soldier's duty to charge against barbed wire into almost certain death. Often no one comes back.
Your task is going to be to recreate the gruesomeness of World War I warfare, including particularly trench warfare. The assignment as posted looks like this. And I want to call special attention to what the actual description is of the project, of researching trench warfare to make an accurate model that illustrates both the weapons and warfare techniques used in the Western Front. And I want to make sure you know that you need annotations on your model for each item that's listed. You can't just have machine guns and tanks, you have to tell why they're important. In addition to the whole 3D model, you must include a 400-word minimum typed and double-spaced paper that answers the question, why was World War I so deadly? The rubric looks like this. You can see that trench details and essay are both going to count for 2 times the amount of points everything else is. Hopefully by the end you have a final product that looks something like this in 3D models. And maybe you want to get a little elaborate and include an underground system as well. To help get you started, I've included a couple of video examples from years past. In this project, I sincerely hope that you let creativity be your friend. Everything from spray-painted cotton balls for sandbags to barbed wire being chain links over toothpicks. Now, last year, there was a shortage of Army men in Connecticut. It is not a requirement that you use Army men in your trenches. However, you can see through most of these examples, people did choose to do that. You see the importance of having annotations, of telling me what everything actually is in these trenches, why all these items are important, how they contributed to the type of fighting style that was seen in World War I. Now, hopefully you can be historically accurate. These tanks and these planes are not historically accurate, but they were a nice touch anyway. The annotation actually saves the project because you can see above that the tanks and planes, the pictures are historically accurate there. So moving into this trench model, you could see historically accurate tanks that didn't have huge guns on the top. You could see a concrete machine gun block, as well as some barbed wire in the front. So anything from plastic trees to actual dirt to Chex Mix pieces for sandbags is totally fair game. I've had people use food products in the past, brownies, cakes, I just caution against making sure you don't just throw random soldiers in a cake and call it a day. Actually make it accurate. You see the zigzag pattern here in a block of clay. The underground command posts, listening posts, and counter mines are also documented. And if you have a lot of time on your hand, you have some good resources, you could get really artsy with it, using real moss, little shrubs, wooden blocks. And I believe this is corrugated cardboard with sandpaper attached on the top to give it a little bit of a more realistic feel of the terrain. This is beautiful. And on the back you see annotations, keys, maps, and a lot of them correspond with the annotations that are on the actual trench bottom themselves. So this is telling me about the introduction of hand grenades and how they changed warfare and things of that nature. If you need any more help or guidance on this project, I suggest you turn to popular culture or YouTube. In recent years, there has been an increase in how trench warfare has been depicted and in the frequency it's been depicted in movies. So I turn your attention to Warhorse, or like you see on the screen, the HBO miniseries Downton Abbey, where this guy started a design studio and a set in his backyard and started renting it out to corporations to film. That's what you see pictured in the intricacies of these trenches.